Good evening, welcome. My name is Virginia Mallory. I'm the Director of Admissions, Recruitment, and High School Partnerships. Welcome to our Linn-Benton Community College presentation this evening. We have a great presentation prepared for you this evening. We will discuss how to pay for college. We will cover our academic programs, our degree partnership program, and our wonderful resources and support systems available for students. A couple of housekeeping items. This is a presentation in a webinar format, so there will not be the opportunity to ask questions using audio, but we would like to ask that you direct your questions through the chat box feature. And if you scroll your mouse, you'll see that in the toolbar. We do have some Roadrunner experts standing by to answer your questions. And we want to thank you for joining us this evening. And we will begin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Claudia, and I'm one of the student recruitment specialists here at LBCC. So a little bit about LBCC. LBCC is known as one of the top colleges in our area for providing quality, accessible higher ed for over 50 years. We offer over 80 programs of study. Our LBCC alumni go on to have outstanding careers locally and all over the world. And our students get a great running start if they choose to transfer to a university. Our number one focus here at LBCC is helping you succeed. Next slide. So LBCC has 6 campuses. Our first is the main campus in Albany. This is our biggest campus and is followed by the Benton Center in Corvallis. The next 3 are located in Lebanon, Oregon. That's the Healthcare Occupation Center, the Advanced Transportation Technology and Heavy Equipment Center, and the Lebanon Center. And then last but not least is our Sweet Home Center, which is located in Sweet Home, and it is actually inside the Sweet Home High School. Next slide, please. So if you don't know exactly what it is you want to study, that's okay. We have guided pathways that help you narrow down your education road path within one of the 7 meta majors, which means you will never waste a credit trying to figure out what you want to do. Here are our 7 meta majors, or pathways as I like to call them, and several of the programs in each. The way guided pathways works is whether you know exactly which career you're aiming for right out of the gate, or you're not sure yet, our guided pathways will put you on a faster path to graduation. You will start by choosing a meta major, the overarching area, or what I like to call the umbrella of interest, and your journey will unfold from there. Once you start taking courses, your advisor will help you narrow it down on the specific program that's best for you. Next slide. So here we have our areas of study, our CTE programs, which are actually what CTE stands for is Career and Technical Education. They range from 16 weeks to 2 years. We have the Associate of Applied Science that falls under this category, as well as our certificates, our 1- and 2-year certificates, and our short-term training. To give you an example of some of our programs that fall under this category, phlebotomy is a 16-week program. We also offer a 1-year certificate in early childhood education, and some of our short-term programs include surgical technician as well as practical business management. If you look at the chart under the link that has been shared with you in the chat, it lists our areas of study, and you can get a better idea of what kinds of CTE degrees and certificates and short-term programs you can pursue. So many students graduate with more than 1 degree or certificate because our Associate of Applied Science degrees have 1-year certificates tied to them. And this actually allows our students to become employable in their area of study even before they attain their 2-year degree. So many of our students end up graduating so many of our students are gaining work experience while they continue to work towards their Associate of Applied Science degree. Next slide. So other degrees that fall into this category are welding, which is one of the best welding programs offered on the West Coast. And there is our heavy equipment and diesel technology program that is conducted in modern and well-equipped classrooms and laboratories, where students get a balance of theory and practical experience gained by diagnosing, servicing, repairing, and rebuilding components and live equipment. Next slide, please. So our mechatronics program is also a great choice. This program blends electronics with mechanical and as well as computer skills that will make you employable pretty much anywhere that needs computerized machinery to function their business. Here's a short 1-minute video Mechatronics came out with a couple of months ago showcasing mechatronics. Thank you. So LBCC is also excellent to start a bachelor's degree, as well as one of the smartest choices students can make. Our Associate of Science degrees are designed to transfer directly to OSU, meaning that every 100 and 200 level required course you take at LBCC for your major will be accepted towards your bachelor's degree at OSU, which can help you save a lot of money. Our schools work together to make sure courses are equivalent so that the transition into OSU is as smooth as possible. Our AAOT degree, which is our Associate of Art Organ Transfer degree, is designed to satisfy lower division general education requirements at any of the Oregon 7 public universities. And our students are encouraged to work with their advisor to make sure the courses they are taking with us will count towards their degree at the university they transfer to. In short, any bachelor's degree you want to attain or pursue at a university, you can start at LBCC. Next slide, please. So here for you, just to give you an example, I'm just going to let you see LBCC versus OSU tuition. So by choosing LBCC for the first 2 years, you can save more than half of the cost of starting at a university. To give you an idea of the difference in tuition, this slide shows credit costs for LBCC versus OSU. For the upcoming 2022-23 school year, students are looking at paying about $140.58 per credit. This includes student fees. If students start at OSU, they are looking at paying anywhere from $328 to $351 per credit hour, depending on their major. So for example, the College of Engineering and the College of Forestry both have differential tuition, meaning their credit hours are different than the base tuition rate OSU goes by for their offered degrees. OSU also has mandatory fees. Fees students are required to pay each term, which come out to be around $708. These mandatory fees cover student health services as well as incidental and building fees. LBCC does not have these type of fees. If you are worried you will miss out on the university experience by attending LBCC first to save money, then you will want to know about our degree partnership program, which we'll talk about later on in this presentation. Another great reason for you to start at LBCC is studies done at U.S. universities show students taking this route are better prepared at continuing their education than if they started at the university. If you're considering transferring to a college or university in a different state, our grades go on to hundreds of universities across the US. Next slide, please. So this is just a glimpse of some of our transfer programs that we have at LBCC. Of course, we have engineering, agricultural sciences. So like I mentioned earlier, we have 80 plus programs of study. Next slide, please. So here at LBCC, we understand the importance of offering our students services that can help them achieve their academic goals and positively impact their personal growth. The Learning Center provides academic support for all of our students. This is where students can go to get help with math, writing, or any other subject. Our students are also given 3 hours of free tutoring per week on top of walk-in tutoring. Our test services are also available to help determine which courses you should take. This is so that you don't start out at a class that may be too easy for you, or limit the amount of classes that you need to take for a certain degree. The Equity Hub, which is actually the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Office, known as the Equity Hub, offers students a welcoming, safe, and inclusive, culturally respectful place for learning, meeting, study, and social activity. All students and members of the campus community are welcome to attend events, engage in activities, and learn about diversity, inclusion, and unity. If you aren't sure what career you want to pursue, our career specialists can help by helping you figure out your likes, passions, your strengths, and connect those with careers that fulfill your needs. The Center for Accessibility Resource is another great student service we offer, and here to tell you more about it is Julie Heston.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julie, and I'm an accommodations specialist in the Center for Accessibility Resources. And what our office does is we are a resource here at LBCC for students with disabilities or other barriers to success. We include the terms other barriers to success because students may experience conditions that are not necessarily labeled as a disability, but they still can significantly impact somebody's access to and success in their education. So we work with students that may have had an IEP or a 504 plan while in high school, students who experience medical or mental health conditions, students with acute or ongoing illnesses or injuries, and students who have other conditions that may present barriers to being successful in college. We provide support to students by teaming with them, the faculty, and the staff on campus to create an accessible and equitable learning environment. This is done by having an interactive intake process with the student to plan accommodations, by coordinating and facilitating the use of those accommodations within the classrooms and other areas and activities on campus. We do this by providing ongoing success coaching and helping students grow their empowerment skills. A common question we often get is, what can I do now to get ready for college? Well, right now is a great time to get information and start planning if you or your student may need accommodations in college. Our website is a great place to start. Along with general information on how to contact us, we have the accommodation process outlined, including step-by-step directions for how to get started and for providing documentation or evidence of disability. We also recommend talking or thinking about going to college and what that might look like. This might include asking, what do I want to study? Do I want to attend full-time, part-time? Start with a community education class. This should also include talking about the supports in college for students who experience barriers to learning, and look at our website together. If you or your student may need accommodations in college, make sure that the student knows why they've had an IEP or a 504 or how their condition can impact them in college. Make sure they know what kind of accommodations may have helped in the past, and they're able to explain why they've helped. Another thing to talk about is how accommodations in college may be different than those in high school. And if you're not sure what those differences are, contact me and we can explore those together. So most importantly, we recommend that you reach out with specific questions. highly recommend connecting with our office early, such as in the spring prior to fall term or before leaving high school if possible. We do welcome connections with our office at any point while in your college experience. And I'm happy to start with just a simple conversation if that's what works best. I can also help students guide them through the accommodation process, as well as support them through their educational journey here at LBCC. On the slide, my contact information is listed. It's also on our website, and it'll be listed at the at the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. LBCC has a vibrant student life even now during COVID. Very active student. We have a very active student leadership council, which is the SLC, which are there to protect our students' rights and needs. Our choir has traveled all over the world, and we have a great athletics program. Both our volleyball team and our baseball team have won NWAC championships. Sorry about that. Next slide, please. So how can you get involved? If you're looking for ways to get involved, here are a few ways. So first is applying for the SLC. You can volunteer, join clubs. You can also apply for a work study position with the student leadership and applying for a job. And you can also apply for a job as a student engagement leader. If you are interested in getting involved while you are pursuing a degree here with us, you can contact getinvolved@linn-benton.edu. I will now turn this presentation over to Golden, who will talk about financial aid.
Hey everyone, just like Claudia said, my name is Golden Eyestone, and I'm a financial aid advisor here at LB, and I get to talk a little bit about paying for college and financial aid. So we'll go to the first slide. Next slide, please. And Claudia touched on kind of the tuition differences between community college universities. This first slide shows the overall affordability of LBCC when compared to private universities, private colleges. So the $6,102 is the tuition and fees for a full-time student here at LBCC for the academic year. So when looking at your budget for the year, this is what you can count on. Go to the next slide. So what are the first steps that you and your student need to take in order to get help paying for college? So the financial aid opportunities for students, financial aid, we need to fill out the applications. The applications opened October 1st for next year, and that's going to be the 22/23 aid year. So you can go to studentaid.gov to complete the FAFSA. So the FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Okay. You can also go to oregonstudentaid.gov to apply for the ORSA and state grants, including Oregon Promise and Oregon Opportunity. For those who are unaware, ORSA is the Oregon Student Aid application. It's an alternative to the FAFSA for Oregon residents who are undocumented, including students who have a DACA status. They can still be eligible for state grants and scholarships. And we'll give you the website for the scholarships as well here. Please reach out and fill out those scholarship applications as well. Next slide. All right, so one question I get is the dependency status question. So why are you as the parent involved in this process, filling out the FAFSA? So the government and the Department of Education expect the parents to share the responsibility of paying for school while the student is a dependent student. So this slide shows the questions the student sees on the FAFSA. So if your student answers yes to any of these questions, it makes the student independent. Until then, the parent will be required to provide the information. Next slide. All right, so you filled out the FAFSA for next year. In the next month or so, we're going to process it. send the student an email saying that they can go and look at their award or what they're eligible for. And so these are the types of financial aid you may see on that award. State grants, Oregon Promise and/or Oregon Opportunity Grant. Federal grants, which include Pell Grant, Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant, and Work Study Grant. So those are the grants. Those are the money that you would not have to repay. Okay. Which is also included in financial aid are loans. Federal student loans, including subsidized and/or unsubsidized loans. So the difference between the two, subsidized means that the government is paying for the interest while you're in school. So it is not accruing interest while you're in school. And unsubsidized loans are accruing interest. Parent Plus loans, not offered, but available to request. So the parent can take out loans for the student. So again, state and federal grants are accepted on your behalf. How much you receive is dependent on eligibility, grant type, and enrollment level. Student loans are placed in an offered status. So you may accept, reduce, or decline loans in your web runner. You must be enrolled in a minimum of 6 credits or more for loans to pay out. Next slide. So we do have lots of questions about the Oregon Promise. So here's a few tips on the Oregon Promise. You need to be a recent high school, Oregon high school, or GED test graduate. The 2.5 cumulative GPA or higher. Right now, they're changing that to a 2.0 for next year. So a lot more students can be eligible. You can also, you also have to attend or an Oregon community college within 6 months of graduation and be an Oregon resident at least 12 months prior to attending college. It also shows the deadline. So if your student is graduating March 1st through June 30th, that June 1st is a hard deadline for you to get that application in. So get going on the applications. And I will turn it back over to Virginia.
Thank you, Golden. So enrollment steps and how to apply. You can actually apply online by going to our website, which we'll share with you on chat. And if you're looking for more information on the programs we offer, we can fill out, you can fill out the online form under the information form. Next slide. Next, I will pass it over to Taylor Nelson.
Howdy, howdy. I'm Taylor Nelson, a student success navigator in the First Resort. So we handle the steps after you apply. After you apply to LB, you'll want to regularly check your personal email because that's where we'll be sending you your acceptance email, as well as your student ID and information to set up your student account, your LB sign-on, which is where you'll find all the information like your class lists and things of that nature. Next slide. Brilliant. We go one more back, or did I miss one? No, we're good. Okay. Perfect. Brilliant. So after you apply, you'll get ready for online orientation, which typically happens about a month before you the term you're starting starts. Unless, of course, we're talking about fall term, which starts in the end of June. So you'll get ready for your online orientation, which is going to be in Moodle, our online classroom system. So it gets you used to using the platform that we use to deliver our online classes. And you'll complete all steps of the online orientation. Next slide. So there's 4 steps to the new student orientation. The first step is just a bunch of learning modules that covers college lingo, the resources available to you as a Roadrunner, the degrees and certificates that we offer, and how to log into your student email. It'll also cover how to determine your placement in math and writing, as well as sending in transcripts from previous colleges that you've attended or credit that you earned while in high school. Step 2 is where you get to tell us about your interests and goals through the Getting to Know You questionnaire. After you submit that questionnaire, an enrollment expert like myself will send you a recommended first term guide, which is a list of courses that we take into account your previous credits earned, your placement tests, and your academic goals to just put together a list that you can safely choose from to register for your first term at LB. You can also schedule an appointment with an enrollment expert to get more hands-on guided information. Step 3 of the new student orientation covers actually registering for those classes. And then once you're registered, you'll be able to go to step 4, which will help you prepare for the first day of class. So it covers how to find your class, finding your textbooks, ensuring that you're all logged in and prepared for the right systems, and just really get you situated before the first day of the term. And then if you have any questions along the way from application to registration, you can get in touch with us at the First Resort. We'll find the way together. The First Resort is staffed with student ambassadors and professional staff, like the enrollment experts and navigators, myself. And we're striving to create a personal rather than transactional environment where we can get to the root of the issue instead of just passing you along from department to department. We want to empower students to make informed decisions about their career and academic goals. And we really want to normalize asking for help, because college is a horse of a different color, and there's 1,000 different things that can pop up along your path. And we're here for you. And we're here via Zoom, email, phone, or you can stop by the First Resort at the Albany campus.
Thank you, Taylor. LBCC is a place where futures start, and we also prepare students well for the next steps in their educational journey. So if you're interested in transferring to a 4-year school and are interested in OSU or Western Oregon, you're going to want to know about the Degree Partnership Program. And here's Brooke to tell you more.
Thanks, Claudia. So as Claudia mentioned, my name is Brooke K, and I work in university partnerships. And I'm going to just go through some of the highlights of the Degree Partnership Program and why it really is one of the smartest pathways to a 4-year degree. So in a nutshell, the Degree Partnership Program, the way it works is students are admitted to both LBCC and their partner university. We partner with OSU and Western Oregon primarily, also Oregon Tech and Special Situations. And each term, students are going to decide the mix of classes that they'll take at each school. And that looks different for every student. Some students are primarily at OSU and just take a class or two at LBCC because they love the small class sizes. Other students really like the cost savings of LBCC and are primarily at LBCC for a couple of years and start that trend before they start that transition over to OSU. And the way I like to kind of my elevator pitch for the Degree Partnership Program is that you save money while getting double the flexibility and support. And so I'm going to go a little more into each of those categories. Okay, next slide, please. So as far as saving money, Claudia and Golden have touched on this a little bit, but this is just a huge one and one of the huge benefits of starting at a community college. Here's some of our partner schools' tuitions. And as you can see, LBCC, right around $6,000 this year, saving about $6,600 if you're full-time at LBCC versus being full-time at Western Oregon or OSU. And then if we go to the next slide, and if you're a student who can take advantage of Oregon Promise, which is just such an amazing opportunity your tuition at LBCC goes down to about $2,000 a year. So all of a sudden, you're saving about $10,000 a year if you're able to take a lot of those 100 and 200 level classes, those freshman and sophomore level classes at Linn-Benton, where we happen to have smaller class sizes and lots of support. So you get this really great start, as Claudia mentioned, that prepares you to do that upper level classwork once you're at the universities. So if we kind of look just over 4 years, this is another, lots of graphs about finances, but if this kind of shows over 4 years what this might look like. So year one, maybe you're getting Oregon Promise, you're taking most of your classes at LBCC, your tuition is going to be pretty low compared to what it would be if you were full-time at OSU. Year two, maybe you start transitioning into some OSU classes. It's great as a degree partnership student. You have that option of taking maybe a class a term, so you can start connecting with faculty and students in your major and your cohort. It's also important for some programs so that you can continue to make progress towards that degree, that you take some OSU classes that are only offered at OSU in that second year. And then years 3 and 4, you're taking most of your classes at the university. But over 4 years, you're saving maybe around $20,000, and you're getting that same OSU degree in an excellent academic foundation. So that's kind of the saving money part. But if we go to the next slide, what about the flexibility? So one of the awesome things about degree partnership is you really get to choose how you want to do your college experience. Some students are really excited about having that typical university experience, living on the dorms, going to football games, and that's possible with degree partnership. So you can be living on the OSU campus, living in the dorms, and still taking all of your classes at LBCC and saving on the tuition. Alternatively, if you think you might want to be at OSU as a freshman, but you really don't want to live in the dorms, if you're taking more than 50% of your classes at Linn-Benton, you can get a waiver. So you wouldn't have to live in the dorms if you didn't want to. And then as far as support, I like to say that you get double the student life and support by being connected to 2 different universities. So things like tutoring at LBCC, which Claudia has mentioned. There's also all of the great resources at our universities, the cultural centers, the health and wellness centers, Dixon Recreation Center at OSU. So all of those services offered by OSU are available to degree partnership students. And as far as, I know most of you are probably in the area, but to kind of highlight how this partnership works. So if a student, say, was living in the dorms at OSU and wanted to take some of their classes at Linn-Benton, we have a campus in Albany. There's a free shuttle that takes students to our Albany location. It's about 11 miles away. And then there's also, we have a Benton Center, which is right in Corvallis, just like a 10-minute bike ride away from the main OSU campus. Right here, there's a photo of a ceramics class. Lots of students take this ceramics class that fulfills some of the general education requirements. So that's a really great option also for students who are wanting to take classes at LBCC, but might be concerned about what the commute's going to be like. A lot of our 100 and 200 level transfer classes are offered at that Benton Center in our Corvallis location. So just wanted to go into some myth busting about degree partnership. Something that I know a lot of students can be concerned about is that it's a weird way to do college, but that is a total myth. There are over 1,000 students a term who are using this degree partnership program, taking classes at both OSU or Western Oregon and at LBCC. It's an increasingly common way of doing college because of the rising costs of college. So definitely you or your student, if you're a parent on this webinar, they're not going to be alone in hacking their way to a really affordable, great degree. And then as far as sometimes there's a myth going around that classes are maybe easier at LBCC than they are at OSU or Western Oregon. Also a total myth. We actually have a team of people that works with Oregon State and with Western Oregon to make sure those classes are equivalent in content and rigor. And actually a lot of students get sent our way from OSU for some of the harder technical courses, math courses, science courses, because they are smaller and students are getting a lot of great one-on-one support. And then as far as it being confusing or complicated, and as a degree partnership student, you do have to learn 2 college systems. So you're going to have to know how to register at OSU and how to register at LBCC and keep track of the timelines and dates. But it's absolutely, it's something everybody can do, just takes a little bit of organization. So that's my disclaimer on that one. So as far as applying, this part is really, really simple. So if you meet the first year admission requirements for OSU or for Western Oregon, you're just going to see a part of that application is going to be checking a box or this short form for Western Oregon saying you'd like to be a part of degree partnership. And then we'll go from there. And if you don't, I believe the cutoff for like OSU is a 3.0 GPA as well as some other specific high school coursework. And if you don't meet that, it's not a problem at all. You can just start at LBCC. We have lots of students who do this. Start at LBCC, and then once you complete 24 credit hours as well as a few specific classes, you can dual enroll. All right, next slide.
Thank you so much, Brooke. We have a couple of additional events coming up in April. For us to engage with you. We have a Roadrunner for a Day event, and that is for high school seniors from the area. And students will be able to come to campus and really see what it's like to be a student at LBCC. We're very excited about that. Students are encouraged to register for that through their high school. However, if you are or know a homeschool student or a student in an online school, they are welcome to contact me directly, and my contact information will be on the next slide to register for that event. We also have Explore LB Preview Night on April 14th from 5 to 7 p.m. That will be on the Albany campus. And this is an open house event. We would love to host you on campus, come learn more about our programs, meet our staff, our faculty, see our facilities, learn about the great resources available to students. This is in person. We are very excited to host you all. And here is the link to the website to learn more. We look forward to seeing you on campus. And here is the contact information from all of us from this evening. Please reach out to us, send us an email, give us a call. We're here to support you, to help you, to get you started.